everyone, welcome yourselves back to the YouTube channel. I'm finally here for the new Doctor Who episode, Power of the Doctor. Jodie Whittaker's final story and Chibnall's final writing. So if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, leave a like, spoilers ahead, and let's dive into it. And do let me know down below in the comments if you enjoyed the Power of the Doctor. Let's go. So a very exciting moment because I was so hyped, witnessing another regeneration after watching Eccleston and Tennant and Smith and the War Doctor, Peter Capaldi all regenerating this time span. But I think we witnessed one of the most gorgeous and beautiful regenerations at the end of this episode. Jodie got a brilliant send off. She was so good for this episode. Very lackluster for John Bishop as Dan dropped out at the start of the episode for some reason because he was scared because his suit got exposed and he almost died. Like, just pathetic. That was one of my down. That was probably the biggest pet peeve of the episode. Like all the build up in all these episodes up to Jodie's final story, and he left. You know, again back at the end with Graham, Bradley Walsh's character, but it wasn't enough to justify his appearance. But yeah, this episode was great. A great story of the Master Cybermen returning with the Master and the Daleks as they take over 1916 and 2022 whilst trying to build a Cybermen planet. And it was just really, really good to see all these villains, her biggest villains, hers, biggest villains of all time. They've left open the door for the Master of Sacha Darwin's version to return, as the 2020 version disappeared, did not return for the episode, whereas the 1916 version died on the planet of the Cybermen. So overall, when you think of nostalgia, you think of a brilliant send-off for Jodie, you think of companions, you think of bringing Tegan and Ace into the story. It was all well done, Unit and Kate and just the way they did certain scenes, Joe Martin returning as the fugitive doctor, as a hologram to how all the Cybermen kill themselves, forced regeneration scenes to see the Master as the Doctor. There were so many good moments of whoa, oh my God, that's so cool. We've not seen those sorts of things. Seeing Peter Davison talk to Tegan was such an incredible scene, as him having a little off comments saying you look different, you look older, you look a bit thicker. Ace and McCoy talking and how they mended their relationship. There was just so many good moments. Like I said, seeing Ace and Bradley Walsh's character unite on screen. Why is it when you say so many names you forget? Um, but yeah, Tosin Cole, he didn't return for whatever reason. As Ryan, a bit annoyed because it's her last ever episode and you couldn't have the audacity to appear. I thought Yaz was brilliant as always. She's been one of the best companions in years. She's so likable, so headstrong. So I thought her departure was a bit iffy, because they sat on top of the TARDIS, they had an ice cream, talking about moments, talking about how they're going to miss each other, talking about how they don't want it to end. But then she was like, I need to do this alone. And she sort of just walked out of the TARDIS to the equivalent of an AA meeting, if you will, with all the original companions, which I will touch on in a minute. But I thought what this episode had was a great story, great pacing, so showing Sacha Darwin as one of the finest masters you'll have. Think of him, what John Sims did with the original Master, what the actress did with Missy. They've all been brilliant. They've all had their moments of awesomeness, and this was Sacha Darwin's brilliant episode. He truly showcased how evil he can be, how funny he can be. A bit of a cringy dance scene when he was prepping the Force Generation, but it's a bit of fun. At the end of the day, that's what it is. It is aimed at kids at the same time, so those moments will be funny for people. I got a laugh out of it. I thought the battle scenes were brilliant. I thought Ace and Tegan were outstanding for the most part. Kate always charismatic and headstrong as ever. And as I said, just jumping on the regeneration scene before we go into the companion side of things, I think Jodie Whittaker had one of the most beautiful soundtrack to her regeneration, visually in Dorset. It was brilliant. And overall, it was just the most perfect ending she probably could have asked for, her companions could have asked for, fans of Jodie could have asked for, and I think, we can rest easy knowing Jodie did a very good job as the Doctor, and as she transformed into David at the end to bring back his 10th Doctor version, but he has been confirmed as the 14th Doctor, even though he is technically the incarnation of the 10th. So I'm intrigued to see what these specials on the 60th anniversary offer next year with his role. He looks amazing in the new suit. He still looks just as good as he did back in 2010. And, everyone loves David. But what they've got to take into account is they're doing, and I'm going to make a video on this, they're doing this whole David thing to bring viewerships back up. Yes, obviously it's to do with a story part, and obviously I trust Russell with what he does. He's a very good writer. But at the end of the day, I'm still intrigued to see if it makes sense. There's a fine line between springing someone back and trying to do it for the, nostalgia sake, but he also got to do it for the right reasons. And I don't believe David would have returned if it didn't make sense. So I'm excited to see that. Companion wise, we saw Jo Grant, we saw Ian Chesterton, um, a few other companions, which just truly made the meeting at the end so amazing. And the fact that Kate sort of went, "Oh, we could use you for missions in the future." And I think for me, who's currently watching the William Hartnell era, to see Ian Chesterton be there was such an incredible moment. Um, he's one of my all-time favorite companions. He always will be. Jo Grant, obviously, because of a connection to Sarah Jane. Bonnie Langford. I've never really seen her episodes, but obviously I will do when I get around to her Doctors. Apparently, she's very iconic. And yeah, seeing Tegan, Ace, Bishop, um, Bradley Walsh, and then Yaz is. There's all these characters, you could have included K9, but there's no David Tennant era, there's no Matt Smith, there was no Peter Capaldi era people, I think, because they're actually all dead, actually. Yeah, Nardle's dead, um, Bill's dead, Clara's dead. Yeah, they're all dead, actually, so don't matter. um, but yeah, I think what this did, what it set up, what a finale it was for Chibnall, Whitaker, Yaz, Bishop, Walsh, Darwin, possibly. I think he will appear in the future, but I think they've done him justice. Even if they do if T. Davis does change a few things, I'll be satisfied with what I got from this. So a terrific, terrific finale. The teaser at the end gave us a look at David Tennant, Catherine Tate, and um, I can't remember his name, but the new Doctor. And you know, I was always on the edge with Smith. I was on the edge with Capaldi. I was on the edge with Whitaker. I'm going to be on the edge with Ncuti. I remember his name because I only really see him as Eric from Sex Education, and it's always going to be tough. But I'm always going to give everyone a chance. 17 years of this, and I'm going to keep giving everyone a chance because I'm excited. When we get to that 20-year mark of watching it from 2005 to 2025, it's going to be an incredible, incredible experience to see what Ncuti does. Obviously, first off, let's see what David does, and obviously, huge credit to what Chibnall did these past 3 seasons, what Whitaker did, what Yaz did, what the rest of the cast did. They're all phenomenal. They're all great. And as a huge die-hard Doctor Who fan, I couldn't be happier. Daleks, Cybermen, Master, nostalgic, companions, beautiful music, beautiful visuals. CGI was brilliant. Vinder, I forgot to mention him. He was brilliant. Always loved seeing him after seeing him in for multiple years in Game of Thrones. He's one of my favorite characters again in years. So likable, and you could easily do adventures with him in the future. But I don't think Russell will touch upon anything Chibnall's done apart from story. So let me know down below in the comments your thoughts on the power of the Doctor. Did you enjoy it? What do you think of the villains? What do you think of the regeneration? What do you think of the nostalgic aspects in the Doctor and companion moments, or the companions returning at the end? Did you love how the Sadman looked? Did you love Sacha Dawer's performance? What do you think of Jodie's exit? If you've been following Jodie's, what do you think of Bishop's absence in the episode? Bradley Walsh's reintroduction to the series? And what do you think about David returning to the show? And thoughts on Ncuti and his little clip we got. And yes, you can have an opinion because everyone knows how you should look as a doctor. And I don't know, he just sounds like he sounds very like gangstery. I don't know what it is, just didn't give me doctor vibes. But I'm excited for 2024 when we see Ncuti, but probably next year, but 2024 when we truly see him in his full glory. So stick around for more reviews. I intend to watch the entirety of Doctor Who from Classic and Season 1 and all the spin-offs before we return to Doctor Who 2023, the 60th anniversary three-part special. I'm guessing which will air in November, Christmas Day, and New Year's Day. Stay tuned for them. Stay tuned for more reviews. If you have any more videos you'd like me to do down below, I have 2 videos coming up soon. Regeneration rankings and my thoughts on David Tennant stepping back into the TARDIS. Stick around for them, hit the subscribe button, leave a like, and of course, see you next one. Goodbye.